All right, gather close, fellow troublemaker. I'm Raymond. By day, I pass as a perfectly normal human, debatable, but by night, by candlelight, screen glow, and the faint smell of snacks, I serve among a not-so-secret order of storytellers and schemers who pass judgment using ancient, clattering relics known only as math rocks. We are the judge, jury, and executioner. Not with swords, not with spells, but with the cold, uncaring justice of a die that can look you in the eye and still roll a natural one. And this is my first brave, slightly unhinged, absolutely earnest attempt to take a handful of chaotic D&D sessions and alchemize them into an audio story. A tale stitched together from questionable plans, heroic speeches that arrive a second too late, and the kind of comedy you only get when someone whispers, "I have an idea," and the dice immediately begin to laugh. At the heart of it are three heroes, each dangerous in their own special way. Nissa, played by my wife, the love of my life, our mischievous bard, sweet-talking fate itself, and somehow getting away with it. She's rarely alone, thanks to her loyal companion, Scruffy the goat, who is equal parts sidekick, chaos engine, and why is he there at any given moment. Jaslyn, played by my hardworking, family-oriented, caring sister, our steadfast paladin and protector. The one who holds the line when everything goes sideways. The shield, the spine, and the calm voice that says, "We are not doing that," right before we do it anyway. And T'Pol, played by my mother, I know, right? The quiet, stealthy pickpocket, a complete nerd, a sharp mind, and a woman who loves her family fiercely, right up until she's lifting your coin purse with surgical precision. Is it original? Probably not. Is it polished? Not yet. Is it happening anyway because it sounds fun and the world needs more ridiculous adventure? Oh, absolutely. So yes, this is same old, except it's ours. It's for the heck of it, for the story, for the moments that shouldn't work but somehow do, for the glorious, dramatic nonsense of it all. And if you're listening, welcome. If you're judging, take a number and roll with disadvantage. And if you've got feedback, I'm all ears. And I promise I'll only sentence you to a mild side quest.
Elanthea is old, not just in years but in memory. Its soil is layered with forgotten empires. Its skies are crossed by spells spoken so often they've become background noise. And its people live with a quiet certainty that the extraordinary is simply another fact of life. Magic isn't rare here. It's routine. It clings to iron like a second skin. It burns in prayer and bargain alike. It lives in lanterns that never dim, in seals that hum when broken, in laws half-remembered and often ignored, laws that still warn, softly, urgently, don't draw too deeply on powers that do not announce themselves. Elanthea is a land of roads. Ancient stone arteries run between coasts and forests, plains and mountains, carrying merchants, pilgrims, mercenaries, and secrets. Each city is a knot in that web, different in temperament, different in ambition, yet all bound together by trade, rumour, and history's slow churn. At the heart of the world stands Thronehaven, the capital, and the symbolic crown of Elanthea. Built in pale terraces that climb like deliberate steps toward the sky, Thronehaven wears order like armour. Its avenues are wide, its districts are fortified, its towers bear the sigils of houses old enough to confuse ancestry with entitlement. Power is debated here openly, if not always honestly. Magic is respected, regulated, written into ledgers, witnessed, monitored. Because Thronehaven remembers what unchecked ambition can do, it has monuments for it, graves for it, laws for it. To the west lies the coastal city of sail and salt, a place where the harbour is so crowded the sea itself seems reluctant to leave. Wind snaps banners until the fabric frays, fish stinks sweet and sharp along the docks, traders and privateers haggle with the same smiles and the same knives. This city thrives on motion. Nothing stays long, least of all loyalty. Magic here is practical. It steadies hulls, preserves cargo, reads storms. And those who flaunt power without profit learn quickly. Coin, not wonder, rules the tides. Inland, beyond rolling plains and grain roads, stands a city devoted to learning and preservation. Its libraries are said to be older than some nations, shelves heavy with histories copied and recopied by generations of patient hands. Scholars argue whether knowledge itself carries magic. And their careful experiments have shaped much of Elanthea's understanding of the arcane. This city moves slowly on purpose. It believes haste is the enemy of truth. Travellers leave it wiser, or at least more cautious. Many leave with ink on their fingers that no amount of scrubbing quite removes. Farther north, stone-built strongholds cling to mountainsides like stubborn thoughts. These cities weren't made for beauty, they were made for survival. Snow and granite define their character, and so do people who value endurance over comfort. Magic there is blunt, faithful. It reinforces walls, heats halls, wards against the cold. Outsiders mistake these folk for severe. They are not joyless. Their laughter is simply quieter than the wind, and their songs are deep, resonant things, carrying stories back to the first hammer strike against raw rock. And then there is Crossing. Crossing was never meant to be subtle. Built at the intersection of river, road, and caravan routes, it grew quickly, unevenly, shaped by opportunity rather than vision. Once it was a jewel of commerce, a place where fortunes changed hands before sunset and news travelled faster than the current beneath its bridges. Its skyline still bears the bones of that ambition. Cranes frozen mid-lift, warehouses stacked atop older warehouses, towers built where streets should have been widened. But Crossing is no longer what it was. The city sags under the weight of neglect. Cobblestones have sunk into rutted channels, turning rain into filth-laced streams that wind through entire districts. Buildings lean at uncomfortable angles, propped up by beams added long after the original architects vanished or died. The bridges for which Crossing was named still stand, but their stones are cracked. Their wards are faded and uneven, maintained just well enough to avoid collapse, never well enough to inspire confidence. Magic is everywhere in Crossing, as common as breath. Street lamps glow with steady enchantment, locks hum softly when set. Healers work openly in alleys and taverns alike, but power used too boldly draws notice. Somewhere in the layered bureaucracy and the shadowed backrooms behind it, eyes are always watching for surges, spells too strong, devices too clever. Miracles that threaten to upset a fragile balance. No one truly knows who governs Crossing. Officially, councils exist, titles are worn, decrees are issued, but everyone understands the truth. Real authority flows through unseen channels. Decisions arrive through proxies who answer to names never spoken aloud. Policies shift without explanation. The result is a city adrift, mismanaged not by incompetence alone, but by design. Resources vanish, repairs are delayed. Entire districts are quietly written off as unprofitable. And yet, Crossing lives. Markets still roar with trade. Taverns spill laughter and arguments into the streets. Performers, soldiers, priests, inventors, thieves all find room in its tangled arteries. For those with courage or desperation, Crossing offers opportunity unmatched anywhere else in Elanthea. It is a city where small people can matter, where choices echo loudly, where the past is never as buried as its rulers might hope. And in the evening, when the sun sinks behind crooked rooftops and the river reflects lantern light like shattered gold, Crossing reveals its true nature. Not a dying city, a wounded one. And wounds left unattended have a way of shaping the future, through healing or through catastrophe.
And that's where we'll leave it, for now. Truly, thank you for listening. Whether you found us by accident, curiosity, or the mysterious pull of the math rocks, I'm glad you're here. This is a feeble first swing at turning our table's chaos into an audio story, but it's been a blast, and sharing it makes it even better. If you'd like to hear more, if you want to follow Nissa and Scruffy's mischief, Jaslyn's steady courage, and Apol's quiet, terrifying talent for acquiring things that were definitely not hers, then go ahead and like and subscribe. No pressure, but if this gets a little attention, I might just keep the story going. Until next time, keep your blades sharp, your hearts brave, and your dice at least somewhat merciful.